Every weekday morning in Vancouver begins with the same soundtrack. The soft beep of compass cards tapping gates, the metallic hum of trains sliding into stations, and the unspoken understanding that thousands of strangers are about to share the same moving space. In 2026, the SkyTrain is more than transportation. It is a living social ecosystem. Each line, the Expo, Millennium, and Canada line, has developed its own personality, culture, and rhythm, almost like three separate versions of the city itself. The day often starts before sunrise on the Expo line, Vancouver's oldest and most chaotic rapid transit artery. Stretching from downtown to Surrey, the Expo line feels fast, loud, and constantly in motion. Commuters from Surrey, New Westminster, and East Vancouver crowd the platforms with coffee cups, backpacks, and headphones already on. The line carries some of the highest ridership in the region and remains the symbolic backbone of Metro Vancouver transit culture. On TikTok and Instagram meme pages throughout 2025 and 2026, the Expo line became associated with main character commuting energy. Viral clips frequently showed packed trains at commercial Broadway station, chaotic rush hour platform sprints, and dramatic skyline views crossing the Fraser River. Social media creators often joke that if you survive the Expo line at 8 a.m., you can survive anything. The reputation exists for a reason. The Expo line feels intense, louder trains, older infrastructure, more visible economic diversity, and an unpredictable atmosphere that changes station by station. In contrast, the Millennium line has developed a calmer and more student-coded identity. Running through Burnaby and East Vancouver, it connects educational hubs, quieter residential areas, and rapidly developing urban centers like Brentwood and Lauhee. Online discussions frequently describe the Millennium line as cleaner, more relaxed, and more introspective than the Expo line. Reddit users often mention the scenic sections near Lafarge Lake and the generally quieter atmosphere east of Commercial Broadway. By 2026, the Millennium line also became heavily associated with Vancouver's student and creative population, especially with anticipation surrounding the Broadway subway expansion. On any given afternoon, passengers include university students editing videos on MacBooks, healthcare workers heading toward the Broadway corridor, and young professionals discussing startups, AI, or housing prices. The line reflects a softer, more future-focused version of Vancouver culture. Riders are often seen reading, journaling, or quietly scrolling through TikTok instead of engaging in the louder social interactions commonly associated with the Expo line. Then there is the Canada line, the sleek, polished sibling of the system. Connecting downtown Vancouver to Richmond and the airport, the Canada line feels distinctly international. The trains are smoother and quieter than the Expo and Millennium lines, something passengers have consistently noted online for years. Many riders associate the Canada line with business professionals, tourists, students traveling to Richmond, and travelers hauling luggage to and from Vancouver International Airport. The Canada line has a reputation for efficiency and aesthetic minimalism. Compared to the industrial feel of parts of the Expo line, the Canada line feels curated. Stations like Yaletown Roundhouse Station and Bridgeport Station are associated with professionals, luxury retail workers, airport employees, and international students. In 2026, while Expo and Millennium ridership experienced slight declines, Canada line ridership actually increased. That statistic reflects larger demographic shifts occurring across Metro Vancouver, especially south of the Fraser River and near Richmond. The cultural differences between the lines also reveal Vancouver's broader social geography. The Expo line reflects economic pressure, migration, and urban survival. The Millennium line represents education, redevelopment, and creative ambition. The Canada line embodies globalization, tourism, and polished urban professionalism. Together, the three lines create a moving portrait of the region's identity. Scholars studying urban transit systems often argue that public transportation acts as a social mirror of the city itself. Vancouver's SkyTrain demonstrates this clearly. Transit systems shape how residents interact with strangers, experience public space, and perceive community, belonging. In Vancouver, a city frequently criticized for loneliness and social distance, the SkyTrain becomes one of the few places where every demographic still overlaps physically. Students, office workers, tourists, artists, construction workers, newcomers, and longtime residents all briefly occupy the same shared environment. By late evening, the atmosphere shifts again. After concerts, hockey games, nightlife, or long restaurant shifts, the trains become quieter and more reflective. The Expo line fills with exhausted hospitality workers and groups returning from downtown clubs. The Millennium line becomes almost peaceful. The Canada line carries late-night airport travelers staring silently out windows at the city lights. A day in the life on Vancouver's SkyTrain in 2026 is ultimately a story about movement. Not just physical movement, but generational, economic, and cultural movement. Every station reveals a slightly different version of the city. Every line tells a different story about what Vancouver is becoming, and every day, without fail, the doors close, the announcement chimes ring out, and the city keeps moving forward together.